Hello and welcome to Talking Bengals, where we are going to dive deep into what is everybody's excited for, preseason football. Week 1 is upon us, my friends. I'm joined today by my co-host, Nick. How are we doing?
All right, a little excitement going on. How you doing, Bernsey?
Oh man, I'm here. I'm alive. I made it. Ready to get some football going. It's our first week of football for the next 25 weeks, I believe it is. Give or take a few. All right, let's go. Josh, how we doing? Repping out the Together We Are Florence Y'all shirt today. Looking good. Oh, look at that. Talking Bengals hat. I love it. How we doing,
A lot of
man?
it going on. Oh, man. We are so close. Less than a week until the preseason, which means football season is finally freaking here. I am so excited.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we get to talking about preseason week 1, the matchup against Tampa, let's talk about the spotlights of training camp over the last 7 days. The biggest news that we've seen is the injuries continue to pile up. Cam Sample goes out for the year. He tears his Achilles. Nick, what are your thoughts on Cam going out, and what does that mean for the defense?
I think the Cam Sample going out is kind of 50% good, 50% bad. The good side, right, opens up another spot for somebody to earn a way in. So brings in competition. I think that's always good. Competition is always good. So kind of looking at a more optimistic point on that side. Pessimistic, Cam Sample was going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. Really sucks having him coming out with an Achilles injury. Just thinking Achilles injury, there's a good chance he's probably going to tear his other one as soon as he gets healthy. So we're probably thinking another 2 years until we see him on the field.
I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I remember a year ago we were talking about this, not on this podcast because I didn't come until late in the season last year, but we were worried about that was what happened to Joe Burrow when he got carted off, and thankfully it was only a calf injury and not the full Achilles. But can you imagine what that would have done to the offense had we lost Joe Burrow for a year? And like you're saying, potentially two, because usually if you overstimulate the one and you're leaning on the other, that can tend to go out as well. Josh, what are your thoughts on Cam Sample and his possible replacements?
Well, I mean, for Cam Sample himself, I'm going to be a little bit positive. I mean, it does definitely open up a lot of opportunities for these other guys. When Myles Murphy, he's been looking really good. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's strong. He's fast. He's definitely going to be able to get after the quarterback. The question is always still going to be, with DJ Reader leaving, how is the defensive line going to stop the run? But that was going to be there whether Cam Sample was in the lineup or not. But really, in terms of his injury, I think if he was going to injure it, sucks to say, but if it was destined to happen, it happened in the preseason. He's able to have the entire season off and hopefully come back next season and not have to worry about taking it easy on either Achilles, either leg, being able to go out and go full force and hopefully come out running next year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting as how they overcome it. Like Nick was saying, he's a force to be reckoned with, and bound and determined to just do unspeakable things. Play counter to Trey, but I think this is an opportunity for Myles Murphy to step up and give us his, what we spent that first round draft pick on him in 2023. So I'm super excited for that piece, and it's just going to be a golden ticket opportunity for him. Other things that we have seen during training camp is, Joe Burrow is utilizing everybody in the offense, every weapon under the sun. You see him throwing to Gesicki, you see him Burton, you see him throwing to Hudson, you see him throwing to, if they wear a number that requires them to throw them the football, he's getting them the football, and man, does he look good throwing it to them. And then that's just going to open the things up for the offense, I think, for the upcoming year. Is there a particular target that you guys are most interested in checking out? Josh, I'll start with you on this one.
I think the one I'm most interested in checking out is Josevach. Josevach last year, he looked like he had some real promise. Granted, he was behind some studs, but every single catch he made mattered. They were big catches. They were touchdowns. They were first downs. They were big-time targets, and I feel like he was up for it every single time. I am really excited to see how he's going to do. Of course, Trenton Irwin, Mr. Reliable, you always know what you're going to get with him. But Josevach, I think, going away from, I would say, the big 2, maybe 3 with the receiver we picked up this year. I mean, he looks like a freaking stud. He looks like he's going to be really good. But he would be the outside guy that I'm really excited to see just on the receiving core, what he's going to be able to do this year. But let's see what Nick thinks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Yoshi do that as well. I think one of the main talking points this year, though, is going to be the young receiver, Jermaine Burton. What is the competition going to be like between him and Jamar Chase? Both of them have speed. Both of them have the ability to get open. How do you double cover both of them? You know they're going to double cover Chase. They can't double cover Burton too, and then they're going to leave everybody else wide open.
Well, to that point, I was going to say it is going to be fun. So to your point there, you're going to have not only Burton and Jamar, but you're also going to have T. You're not going to double cover Yoshi. Eventually, a bunch of people are going to be open. It's just a matter of the offensive line keeping Joe Burrow up and giving him time in the pocket, which to this point, everybody has been giving him the time and the opportunity to stay up, which I'm really excited about. And I don't mean to change focus so quickly because I have some wide receivers that I'm especially excited for this season, just from what I've seen out of training camp. But how about Trent Brown coming back to practice today and getting that opportunity to come to the active list for the first time since being a Bengal and getting some reps in? We finally have the skyline going, and it's going to be a wonderful season on the offensive line as long as everybody can stay healthy, I believe. But for me, the offensive weapon that I'm most excited for is T. Higgins. We've talked about him all year. We've talked about, is he going to stay? Is he going to trade? Is he going to sign his thing? Is he going to sign a long-year deal? But this is an opportunity for him to just go out there and shine and show what he's really about and continue to embrace Cincinnati because we continue to embrace him. If you follow him on Twitter or any type of social media, you'll see him in the comments out there talking about, man, he loves it here. He's so glad he's here. He says it in the press anytime he gets the one-on-one interviews. So it's going to be really exciting to see. And I think the sky is the limit for T. Higgins this season. Again, like we've talked about over the last couple of years, as long as he can stay healthy.
Well, that's kind of one thing about Cincinnati. Players, they'll leave and go play for somebody else, but they always seem to come back to Cincinnati to live. Cincinnati it's a great city to live in, not even if you're just staying in Cincinnati itself, but any of the surrounding areas. Because, you've got the whole tri-state area to choose to live in, and every single piece of it is awesome. Me and Nick, we live in northern Kentucky, and I don't plan on leaving ever. Everyone seems to come back, and I can see why players like T. Higgins that have spent a significant amount of time with their playing career, of course, Zach didn't quite want to stay, but that's fine.
Hey, no. I didn't think that shot was at me. I think that was at somebody that's absent today because of
he just can't seem to stay put anywhere. But that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zach, you bring up a good point about the offensive line. With Brown and Mims at our tackles, I saw that right guard position Friday when I was at the training camp, and honestly, I was just focusing on the offensive line when I was watching. Cody Ford and Jackson Kirkland were showing it up, man. I don't know if I was seeing anything different than what everybody else was seeing, but I was seeing a lot of really good technique out of Cody Ford. I know I probably wasn't very high on him last season, but he looks like he's done some work in the offseason, to be honest with you. He's out there. He looks like he's put in some work. Kind of excited to see what he does out on the field protecting Joe Burrow. I really hope what I was seeing, continues.
I think so too. You've heard. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Josh.
I was just saying, I thought Cody Ford was a decent backup when they picked him up. Was it last year? I thought he was a decent backup. He's not like a world beater a glass eater. He's not a glass eater or anything. But I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I've heard his name more this camp in OTAs than I have Alex Kappa. We spent a lot of money to bring Kappa in, and now we have an opportunity to talk about somebody other than that, Karras, and then obviously the big uglies on the outside that we've continuously just to go get. So the offensive line is pretty interesting, and there's a lot of excitement this year, where last year we were like, oh, this is great that we brought, everybody in, but like, how is it going to work? Where this year there's like, oh, we're actually going to see some of this right now. And there's depth there. So that way, if somebody does go down, we have another quality backup to step in and fill in when they're needed the most. So with that being said,
you just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin' Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
So with that being said, let's move into preseason week number 1. We're at home with Tampa. Is this an exciting game for you guys, or is this an overhyped opportunity before the real games begin in just a mere 3 weeks?
I'm going to say that it's going to be a blah kind of game. Just meh. As the kids say, mid. I mean, seriously though, we're going to see offense 1 out there for maybe 2 drives. If we see the first offense out there any longer than 2 or 3 drives, I think that they're putting too much exposure out there right now. But I mean, essentially, we're watching backups. The first couple games of the preseason is when you're going to get most of the reps, and then you start seeing the cuts happen. We're really going to see what kind of depth we have. We may see offense 1, defense 1 for 2 drives, depending on how long those drives last. So the first couple drives may be exciting, but I don't think it's going to be a telltale sign of how the season will go, though. Josh, what do you think?
I completely agree. Aside from, I am very excited. I love seeing the backups, the second, third practice squad guys. I love seeing all them. I just love to watch football. I really don't care. We got Pee Wee for my daughter doing cheerleading. I like watching the kids. It's just fun to watch. But at the end of the day, we get to see some of the guys that are really trying to make the team. And some of those guys, undrafted guys, practice squad guys, they can get a chance and they can come out and they can end up helping the team get to a Super Bowl. I mean, you really never know what could happen. The determination of anybody could help you get there. But in terms of how much we're going to see of the starters, I don't want to see more than 2 drives. 2 drives is plenty. Get some timing down. Get some real reps because nobody's going to really hit Joe Burrow in practice. If they do, Probably not going to stay on the team for too much longer. But definitely, I would say 2 drives, get him off, get Browning in, give him a couple reps, and then get third stringer in. And I am, like I said in the start, I'm super excited. I can't freaking wait. I want to watch this game so bad. Even though it's just preseason, it doesn't matter. Just like the Reds, spring training, it doesn't matter. I just want to watch it.
Be so mad.
Almost definitely. I'm excited, but I don't get I don't get the hype behind the preseason. I get it. It's repetitions, it's live games, all of those kinds of things. But I definitely carry a lot of concern and a lot of nervousness when it comes to those preseason games because I'm going to bring up somebody outside of the organization and Michael Vick. Now, I know that's a sore subject for our dog lovers out there, and I apologize. But the man brought in hype no matter what season he was playing in, and he goes out there in a preseason game, tearing it up, and what does he do? He breaks his leg. And Atlanta's season was done after that. So I definitely err on the side of caution when it comes to running your players and things like that. But I think this is a great opportunity to see who's going to fill out the rest of the 53-man roster for number one. Notables, though, senior writer for the Bengals, Jeff Hobson, posted an article earlier today talking about the first Bengals depth chart of
whether
the
it's career coaching, mental
of the 2024 season, and seniority carries
has
the
the
day,
insight to get it right.
particularly on
Visit
offense. Trent Brown is listed as the number one right tackle. You have Zach Moss starting, and Drew Sample is the number one tight end, which I think that was kind of surprising as well. And then if you look on the defensive side, he also mentions DJ Turner is going to start the season outside of Cameron Taylor-Britt. And then the free agency safety tandems of Geno Stone and Von Bell replaced Dax Hill and Jordan Battle, which we know Dax was moving back to corner. I'm kind of surprised to see Jordan Battle kind of fall back into a 2 role for his position. And then let's see who else we talk about. Josh Newton is getting some reps with the ones, but is listed as with the third team cornerbacks right now. And then Battle is just falling underneath Bell. Anything of those names that I mentioned surprising to you guys? I mean, I know that this can all change as the weeks go on. And then the other one I forgot to mention too, I skipped over his name, was Trent Irwin is listed as the third receiver right now.
None of that really surprises me. I mean, Trent Irwin has the respect and the trust of Joe Burrow. So him being the third receiver with Tyler Boyd being out, I'm not surprised about that. He's got game reps. He knows what he's doing. Everyone knows that he catches the big balls when he needs to. Completely unintended. Let's just skip over that, Nick.
You're so bad.
But Jordan Battle
went over my head.
Jordan Battle falling behind Von Bell and Geno Stone. Not surprised at all. You've got veteran presence. You've got guys who know what they're doing. They've got a proven track record, and maybe they can help the young guy learn the position better, because safety was a huge hole last season. So I think it's definitely – quit your giggling, Nick. Quit it.
There you go, Josh.
I'm just going to stop talking now. Just go ahead and just finish, Nick.
I'll cap it off for us, okay? Without the innuendos. So anyways, back to adult speak now. No, but seriously, I think that, Jordan Battle dropping behind Bell and Stone, I think that was something we already knew was going to happen. That was the reason why you brought in Bell and Stone, so that way they could take the number one spots back there. On the offensive side, Trenton Irwin, I mean, let's just be honest, the man's earned it. Give it to him. Like Josh was saying, he's been Mr. Reliable. On top of that, he's kind of like the Julian Edelman for the Bengals that, and when you look at the wide receivers, looking at the past Patriots teams that were very, very good, Julian Edelman was a workhorse. Trenton Irwin's a workhorse. Why not? Why not him?
So what you're saying is when the Bengals win the Super Bowl, Trenton Irwin is going to be MVP.
Not.
No.
I mean, I'm just saying, why not?
I love him. He's awesome. Plus, he's got some really nice hair that I wish I could have.
It's good old sunshine.
Hey, I'm holding on to mine as long as I possibly can, okay? It's going, but I'm definitely not there yet. So, I think the most surprising thing for me, I think, is that number 3 outside of Drew Sample. I think Drew Sample getting the nod over Gesicki is a little bit of a surprise. But I think that tells you where the offense is trying to go, especially when it comes with the tight end set, is that if we're going to run tight ends, Drew Sample is going to be in there blocking for the run to open up the passing game. Because I mean, really, that's why you start Drew Sample, in my personal opinion. If you want to start and you want to open up the game, passing, you're going to put Gesicki in there as the one. But obviously, this is a fluid system. This is always going to change. So you never know who's actually going to be one when it comes to week 1 until, opening day. So we're almost there. But I'm super excited. It's going to be a good one. Any closing thoughts on preseason week 1?
Well, I mean, just based on what you were saying right there, we all know Joe Burrow loves to go 5 wide. So you could very easily have 3 receivers and 2 tight ends out there. So, I mean, you've got Drew Sample to block. You've got Gesicki out there to pass catch. Plus, you've got the receivers. You've got run. You've got just quit it, Nick. That's a football term. Stop it.
Pass catch or catch passes. Tomato.
It's tomato, potato. But yeah, so I mean, having all these targets for Joe Burrow, it's going to make the offense so much better. I see no reason, if everyone stays healthy, if the play calling is what we're hoping it's going to be, that the Bengals cannot have the best offense in the NFL. They have the best targets team-wide, and they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, bar none. Nobody can say that they have all of the weapons that the Bengals have. If the offensive line can hold up, I don't see any reason why they can't be the best offense.
All right, so everybody write it down. Josh says the Bengals are going to put up 50 every game. I like it. Nick, any closing thoughts on preseason week 1?
No, I think that we've covered it all. I don't want to beat the dead horse too much.
All right, sounds great. Let's move.
Show your pride for Ken and Willie Anderson's Hall of Fame candidacy with our exclusive t-shirt. Featuring a bold design, this shirt lets you celebrate 2 football legends. Plus, 30% of proceeds go to the Ken Anderson Alliance and Willie Anderson Lineman Academy. Wear your support and make a difference today.
Let's move on. So today, on our Who Dey history, we're going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Takeo Spikes, the defensive bright side of the late 90s, early 2000s. He was actually noted as number 19 of the Bengals' first 50 during the 50-year anniversary of the Bengals. He started 79 games for the Bengals in his 5 years here in Cincinnati. He spent 15 years bouncing around a few different various places to include Buffalo. Pretty sure there was a year or 2 in San Francisco, if I do recall. During his time here, he had 5 interceptions, 12 fumble recoveries, 571 combined tackles, 79 of those tackles for losses. All right, who wants to open it up and talk about Takeo Spikes other than what I just mentioned? Let's go twice. Nicholas, you're up, my friend.
I love Takeo Spikes. He's one of my favorite linebackers of all times for the Bengals. The man had a neck that rivaled none. Right, he was just an absolute just animal. I loved it. Right, he hit people with the intent to hurt them. He played football the way you're supposed to hit. Kind of like Perfect if Perfect played in earlier days when you were supposed to hit people like that. But the type of football that Takeo Spikes played, I don't think that you play that anymore. Same thing with like a Ray Lewis. And in my mind, the years that he spent here in Cincinnati, I think that you could kind of put him hand in hand comparison with Ray Lewis. I mean, the amount of impact he had for the Bengals defense, the it factor he had, I hated seeing him go.
Yeah, when he left, I mean, it's kind of like that time period when everybody was leaving. It put a bad taste in the mouth for the player. It took away from actually what they did for the organization, especially in those bad years of the late 90s and early 2000s, before the Carson era really kind of took off. So for me, Takeo, like you said, he was that linebacker that just could get it done, played football the right way. He'd hit you in the mouth, and he was all over the place. So, Josh, what do you got for us on Takeo?
Well, he's definitely a stud. Like Nick said, just go look at the picture of him. The dude has a freaking neck. I mean, he was a monster of a man that when he hit you, you definitely felt it. Nick's just giggling all night. But no, I mean, if you go just look up his stats, his 5 years in Cincinnati, he played for a total of 5 teams. But he had 5 years in Cincinnati. All of his stats, except for his yards, just based on his fumbles that he got, 5 of them in Buffalo. But his time in Cincinnati, he has, solo tackles, 451 solo tackles of his 1,018. So, I mean, the dude knew how to hit. And like Nick was saying, if a certain unnamed player that we're not going to talk about for 2015 reasons, if he would have been around during the 70s, that probably would have been awesome. But Takeo Spikes, like we said, he was a freaking monster. Wish he would have stayed around for his whole career, but it is what it is. Ain't going to happen all the time.
Most definitely. And I don't really think that there's much else that you could say about this. This is where, Casey would probably jump in and tell us something and pontificate for hours on end and tell us how much he loved him. And I don't know. I'm doing my best right now. Okay, guys.
And then he's going to tell us he's pontificating too much.
Oh, there you go. No, I've pontificated too much, so let somebody else talk.
Take your career to new heights with Constructive Curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
All right, with that, we're going to move on to Casey's favorite topic, which is Bengals trivia, and I'm going to try and stump the boys this time. So get your thinking caps on. Bengals fans, without Google, try to figure this person out. I will give you the era. It was the 70s. Okay, this player started a total of 105 games from 1970 to 1977. Was in 6 Pro Bowls, 25 career interceptions, 354 interception return yards. In December 1972, this man not only had 1 but 2 pick sixes against the Houston Oilers. Any guesses?
Yeah, multiple choice.
Ooh. bad choice because I didn't put a bunch of 4 names down. I only put 1 name because that's how I roll. So I'm going to do my best. A, Ken Riley. B, Lamar Parrish. C,
It's
Phil O'Neill.
It's Parrish.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It's Parrish. He was a beast. He was a beast back in the day when passing wasn't a thing as it is now, and he made it even harder.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He also was
just
number
phenomenal.
16 on the Bengals first 50 as well. During that, what was that, 2017? Gosh, I think that was the 2017 season, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It's coming back. I was there. Anyway, Josh? Nothing? Bueller?
Yes.
Bueller?
Sorry,
Okay.
what?
No, I just didn't know if you had anything that you had any
Oh,
thoughts
no.
on Lamar Parrish.
No, he was great. I wasn't expecting it to go to me. I was waiting for the next question, but no, he was awesome.
I only had one question, so
Oh, okay. No, he was a freaking legend.
fair enough. Well, hey, good job, Nick. Your first one in 5 weeks. Way to go.
Yeah. You're still over, so it's okay.
That is true. I probably would have got this one wrong too.
I got the first one. That's all.
I had his name in my head, but I couldn't get it out. And then you said Parrish, and I was like, it's Parrish. I knew it. As soon as you said Parrish, I was like, I knew it's Parrish.
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin' Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair prices. Tell us Talkin' Bengals sent you and get 5% off all services. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097.
I got an off the rails topic, kind of.
Oh, okay. So we're transitioning now. We're going off the rails, off-season banter 104. Let's go, Nick.
So when we're thinking about players and off the field, right? The players that are friendly to the fans, the players that go sign autographs. The one player that, when we were at training camp, the one player that approached the fans and signed autographs, not only coming off the field when they were going back into the locker room, going back to the clubhouse. He did it on the way out as well. And that's Sam Hubbard.
Mm.
Sam Hubbard is just, I mean, I'm standing next to him. I'm a fairly large individual. You know, I'm 6'2", about 280 pounds. And he made me feel small. But, like, the way he postures himself with the fans makes him very inviting to the, like, especially to the kids. There was a few special needs kids that were around to get autographs. Very personable individual. Was talking to talking to the kids, talking to the fans there. You could not ask for a better person to be like a front and center guy for the organization right now. To be quite honest with you, I mean, Sam Hubbard is a heck of a dude.
Oh, he definitely is. My sister-in-law works for Campbell's Soup, and she met him at one of their events that they have. They just had a random Bengals player, and it was him, and she said he was the nicest guy. I've never heard anything bad about Sam Hubbard. Everybody seems to love him, and that's probably why the Bengals keep him around, even though he is productive. Might not be the best edge guy, but I mean, he is definitely productive, does his job. He's a team first guy. He is a organization first guy, and he does everything right in the city. He is an awesome individual.
Yeah, there's not much negative things to say about Sam Hubbard. He's just one of those guys that just everybody seems to love, and kudos to him. Speaks levels above about his character and the way he lives his life. Now, hopefully, that's not just a facade and it's just put on for show just because he's putting on the Bengals uniform. Because there are those individuals that exist in our world. That's why the term "never meet your heroes in person." That message has always been resonating with individuals throughout time. Because sometimes you meet individuals, and I won't say names on this podcast, but they definitely played for a Cincinnati organization, and you just find out they're just a trash human being. Whether it was the 70s or not, they just were a trash human being. Okay.
You should not talk about Pete Rose like that, okay? As a baseball player, the man was a heck of a baseball player.
Okay.
Okay? Johnny Bench was a heck of a baseball player. Now, were they the kind of guys that were going to stop and give you autographs every chance they saw you? Probably not. But they were great baseball players.
If I was a 15-year-old female, maybe. Oh.
All right, Zach.
I went.
We're going to stop that. Anyways, more off-season banter. That's not that. Josh, your turn.
All right. Well, so I'm just going to go through this list that the wife sent from 2 weeks ago. I'm going to go family friendly since two of us live in the area, and you know the area enough, Zach. What are some family activities that you like to do in the tri-state area? Let's start this one with Nick.
There's a couple really good parks around the area. I know Florence has South Fork Park where you can go walk trails and play in the creek and stuff, but still have the playground area. Really like the Walton Community Park. They just put a splash pad in. They have a really big playground area where the kids can run around. You can sit as an adult underneath like the picnic areas. There's a whole bunch of shaded area for you to sit. So as a parent, it's nice. If you're wanting to pay a little bit of money, I would say to go check out the Ark. The Ark encounter is definitely something to at least see one time. I'll save some for the rest of you guys, but those are just a few just off the top of my head.
Go ahead, Zach.
All right. So when I come to town, if I'm not already trying to attend either the Reds or the Bengals, local attractions that I like to go do. Geez, I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually got to do things. I always mess up the name, but is it Schmale Park? Is the one on the river?
Yes, Schmale Park, right by the banks.
Yep, I enjoyed that when we would come into town from Utah. Just going down there, it's open, it's free. The kids have fun. There's a couple splash pads down there. Always a good time. I hear downtown's changing again, but I mean it's 2024. What do you expect? Everything's changing. Let's see. I mean, for me, my local attraction always, every time I'm in town, is both Skyline and not Gold Star, Dixie Chili.
Yes,
gotta
thank
clarify
you.
that. Okay, there's a 1 and a 1A, and it's Skyline and Dixie. Gold Star isn't even in the thing. That's why they took chili out of their name. Okay, they're trying to focus on hamburgers now, apparently. Whatever. So
They're really good.
1 and 1A. Dixie and Skyline. Okay. So those are my local attractions. Josh, what do you got?
So the things that I love best about going to do with my kids, you've got sorry, got a little bit distracted for a second. You've got Kings Island. Kings Island is a freaking landmark. I love it. You've got
Yeah, if you want to pay $8 for like a piece of candy and $20 for a drink.
well, no, you can bring your own snacks and drinks in. So I always just do that. We always do that with the kids. We pack them in, put them on the stroller, not stroller, but the wagon. We just go. And then Cincinnati Museum, that's always fun. Take the kids.
Cincinnati Museum is awesome.
The Children's Museum.
Absolutely. We did that back in, I think it was February. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Always watch your kids because there's a lot of areas for the kids to get away. So you got to have eyes on all the exits.
And there's another place I don't know if you guys have heard of. It's called Wonderland. It's a play place for the kids, and you can literally parents can just sit in the middle area, and then there's obstacle courses, there's little kids play areas, little bit bigger kids play areas, there's tunnels and all this other stuff that they can go do. And the parents, they just can sit and do nothing. The kids cannot get out. They can't go anywhere. So that's a pretty good area to take your families. We go every year for the kids' birthdays, it seems like now, because once they went, they have to keep going.
So we have a family tradition too, is if we're in town, it's Festival of Lights. That's always a good one. When I worked for the bank, we always got discounted tickets for that. And then, we can get free tickets through the Thank You Foundation from time to time. There at the AFTA, through the Cincinnati AFTA program. But man, they put on a show, and living in Salt Lake and now living here in Alabama, between the three zoos that I've experienced, the Cincinnati Zoo is like cream of the crop between the three of them. Hoggle Zoo and whatever the one in Birmingham is, they neither one of them holds a candle. Hoggle Zoo is just one tiny circle. The Birmingham Zoo, it was all right, but the light show that you get with Festival of Lights, don't take it for granted, guys. You guys got something special up there.
Oh, that's famous all over the country. I think they rated every single light show nationwide, like just the regular light shows. I don't think it was like zoo light shows or whatever. It was right at the top. It is amazing.
Am I up on off-season topics?
Yep.
Oh boy, let's see. This one's going to be kind of hard because it came up with all the other topics. So let's see. What? I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't really have much in my head right now.
If you could go back to your high school days and play any sport, right? But know what you know now, what sport would you play? Not have any of the injuries that we have. Our bodies aren't failing us. We're back in our high school bodies. What sport would you play and why?
Well, one, I wouldn't want my high school body. Two, I barely want this one. Three, I'd probably play golf.
See, the thing is, I played sports in high school. I played whatever sport I could play, but I never played them for school. I always wish I played football. It sucks that I didn't, but I really wish that we had wrestling. I think I said it in one of the podcasts. I wish we had wrestling so bad. I loved it. I did martial arts and I was good at it. I feel like I would have been good at wrestling. And it sucks that I didn't get the opportunity. And I really wish I could have did that. What you want to do, Nick?
Play hockey.
You would play hockey.
Because you get to fight,
Mhm.
right? And B, because you're on ice and you get to skate. And I always loved ice skating. But it's kind of like the perfect mix of like football and basketball, baseball, and soccer. I mean, how do you not love hockey? Man, I went to go watch a Cyclones game. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I really wish I would have played hockey.
Going back to Josh's thing, the Cyclones do put on a pretty good presentation too. So if you're looking for local attractions to go see, the Cyclones are a good one in the wintertime.
Well, that and you've got FC Cincinnati. If you guys have ever been to an FC game, it is phenomenal. I've been to one. I'm not really big on soccer, but I've been to one, and it is so much fun to watch. Of course, it's really fun to watch because they are a very good team. 2 years in a row, they're best team in the entire league. So, of course, that makes it more fun. The whole presentation is good. The stadium is state of the art. It's the best in all of MLS from what everybody says. I mean, they're pretty fun place to go.
I've heard good things. I think I've only been to one game, and it was before they became the MLS. They were playing in their inaugural season. I think it was 2016 or 2017. My good buddy Tim and we went to a game. It was fun. It was exciting. We showed up a little late. It was at NIP. I'm surprised I didn't burn on campus, but it was a good time. No complaints. I mean, they lost, but I mean, it was still fun all in all. That's how soccer is, though. Like, you can have a really good time, and you do it. Oh, they lost. All right, cool. Let's go to the bar anyway. I mean, or wherever you're gonna go. So no one takes it as serious as they do football.
I just want to focus on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a consistency here and maybe a pattern. You guys were late.
It was a last minute. Hey, do you want to go check this out? We've never been. Yeah, sure. Let's go. So
I'm just saying there might be a pattern of behavior there. If you don't know by now already, guys, we're friends in real life. So we do this. This is natural.
And I am always late. I am the one friend that if you had to call to save your life and I had to be there within 30 minutes, you would already be dead because I get there 90 minutes later. So that's just the way it works.
When we have a get together, I tell Zach to get there at 6 when everybody's supposed to get there at 8.
I'm pretty sure. Did you tell me the wrong time on purpose?
Yep.
Okay. And I still managed to show up like 2 hours past that. So
you were still 2 hours past the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We expected it.
I mean, to be fair, I did travel all the way there. I had, 4 other individuals I was, traveling with and all of these things. And I was extremely exhausted before, leaving our daughters up in Northern Kentucky for 2.5 weeks. So, I mean, it happens.
Excuses are like buttholes. Everyone's got one and no one wants to hear it.
Yeah, I know. And you're the biggest one. Okay. I'm just saying.
What?
And no one wants to hear you.
What?
You're the biggest butthole, and no one wants to hear you speak.
I'm not mean.
I didn't say you were mean. I said you're a butthole.
Okay.
All right. So,
Hey, you don't say that.
No, you don't say that. All right. So, would you rather make $1 million or play in a state championship of football? If you could go back to wherever we were, whatever year it was, and play in a state championship game? Or would you take $1 million? Would you take the life experience, or would you take the money?
Well, I'm gonna make this easy since I didn't play organized football. I'm gonna take the $1 million.
I would take the $1 million now over going back and playing in the state championship football game, because all I would get for that state championship football game is a ring that I'd have to pay several hundreds of dollars for. Instead, I could have $1 million and use that money to make money.
So you're thinking long term. I live in the short term. See, I would take the state championship because money comes and goes. Money can always be made, but those memories and those opportunities and those experiences are once in a lifetime, in my opinion. So for me, I would take the experience to put on the pads, go to the state championship game. I didn't say we'd win it, but at least be there and experience it. So, which the only time we got close was, 04, 05, and 07. 06 was that little hanger out there for us, unfortunately.
All I'm saying is that you can make new memories with that $1 million.
For sure. I mean,
with the family that we have, family and friends that we have now.
Absolutely. I mean, my family
And
wasn't
have
even the
so
same
much
family
more fun.
I had then. I mean, we would have had those memories together, and look at us.
Yeah.
Now we're family now. We're still doing it, trying to make money. So it's all right. I understand.
I don't know that I'll ever be a millionaire, but if I ever get there, you'll never know because you'll never see me.
We better see you on the podcast.
No, I don't think so. There might be clues because I'm just going to go black. Like, you're not going to have a cell phone number for me. You're not going to have contact ever.
I call bologna sandwiches all day long and twice on Sunday on that one. There would be at least 5 people that would know how to get a hold of you, and 2 of them are probably right here.
Fair enough.
So,
My wife's not included
All right.
because she would be in there.
rightfully so. I was thinking, your mom, Casey, us. I don't know.
My sister.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Maybe James, if he's happy.
I could see my brothers being in that picture. I wouldn't want to lose contact with my nephews and my brothers. I mean, their family.
All right, fair enough. Well, with that, let's move into final thoughts. Josh, open us up.
Well, final thoughts are also going to be my beginning thoughts. Football season is finally freaking here. Preseason is about to start. 7 o'clock on Saturday against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's get it going. Let's get everyone out there. Let's keep everyone healthy and get to the regular season. Go ahead, Nick.
Heck yeah. I am kind of excited just to see the Bengals play, but I'm not getting too excited because I know it's just preseason, right? I love watching football. Don't care who's playing, but I'm not getting too excited. I don't want to get too hyped up before the season starts.
Yeah, for me, my final thoughts are I can't wait to watch Joe Burrow throw his first pass, and it's a bomb fade route to fill in the blank for a touchdown for 79 yards. That'll be the first drive, and I'll be super excited. If it's anything other than that, don't blame me. Don't take it to the bank. Don't put it on your FanDuel app or whatever the case may be. Joe Burrow, 79-yard touchdown pass. Open the game. Crazy. All right. With that, I'm also going to close this out here with the socials. So if you don't already follow us on certain mediums, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Threads. As of right now, it is still at Talkin_Bengals. Okay, Talkin_Bengals. And then for Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter, it is Talkin' Bengals. And then, yes, we have ventured into the 21st century of 2024, and we did get on the tiki-talkies, okay? We do the talks, kind of. I don't know. Still trying to figure it out. But that one, it's its own entity, which all entities may become this thing. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. It is talking.bengals, okay? At talking.bengals, okay? Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have a great evening. Have a great week. Be sure to check the Bengals on your local channel of Fox 19 this Saturday. Kickoff starts at what time, Nick?
7.
Josh? 7. Bam. There you go. All right. And with that, my friends, Who Day?
Who Day?
Today.
Show your Bengals and Northern Kentucky pride. Get the Talkin' Bengals Y'all shirt now. Order today exclusively at talkingbengals.com.